It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Machiavelli knew that power begins in silence, that words can betray you faster than an enemy's blade. Every time you speak without thought, you step onto a battlefield where unseen predators are watching, waiting for the slightest misstep to exploit. Your voice, your expression, your hesitation, all are ammunition for those who understand the cost of a careless word. You are not merely talking, you are dueling, and every syllable is a strike with consequences far beyond what you can see. Imagine every conversation you enter as a war zone. Every office, every social gathering, every digital exchange is a trench, and your words are artillery. Misfire once, and you damage your reputation, weaken your alliances, or reveal vulnerabilities you cannot retrieve. Machiavelli warned rulers that speaking too freely is the fastest route to ruin, and the lesson applies to you today. Every time you feel the urge to react impulsively, remember, silence is a shield, a weapon, and a strategy all at once. Words are missiles. They can cut deeper than any sword, leave wounds invisible yet permanent. When a ruler speaks without measure, chaos follows. When a soldier fires without aim, the battlefield becomes their grave. You must see your speech in the same way. Precise, calculated, deadly if necessary, restrained when discretion preserves your power. Hold back, observe, wait. Every word not spoken is a battle you've already won. The battlefield is invisible but lethal. In the modern world, offices hum with hidden agendas, social circles are riddled with whispers, and online spaces are arenas of constant observation. A careless comment in a meeting, a snap judgment on social media, a reaction driven by ego, all are traps laid by those who watch for weakness. Your enemy is not always in front of you. Often it lurks behind. You cannot hope to influence others to speak with authority or to move through the world as a force unless you first rule yourself. Picture your mind as a fortress, its walls towering and impenetrable, but under constant siege. Every distraction, every unchecked fear, every fleeting desire is a battering ram, striking at your gates. Cognitive sovereignty is your first weapon. The ability to control the flood of thoughts, to distinguish the loyal advisors from the traitors that whisper doubt and hesitation. When you dominate your thoughts, you dominate your actions. Your decisions become precise, calculated, unassailable. Let your mind not be a palace under siege, but a citadel of strategy. Guard duty begins the moment you wake. Every impulse to react, every surge of ego, every whisper of envy must pass through the gate of reason before it is allowed to move into the open. Train your mind like a sentinel patrols the battlements, vigilant, unyielding, relentless. Hesitation is not weakness. It is your defensive wall, a buffer that turns impulsive rage or careless speech into controlled power. Those who cannot hesitate fall to their own chaos, their words and actions betraying them before the enemy even moves. You must cultivate the discipline to pause, to observe, to measure, and then act with surgical precision. Perception is the crown upon your throne. Others cannot see your internal fortifications, but they respond to the strength you radiate. Your thoughts, when aligned and disciplined, project an aura of authority that no spoken word could fully convey. People will underestimate your power if you let your mind wander, if you allow doubt to seep through your decisions. Control your narrative within, and the world around you will follow. You decide what is seen and what is hidden. You shape reality by the strength of your inner command before a single word leaves. The first strike advantage belongs to those who conquer themselves before they engage the world. How you manage your energy in the first hours dictates every move that follows. A careless reaction at breakfast, an impulsive message sent before clarity, a moment of ego unleashed in conversation. These are defeats you could have avoided if you claimed the morning as your own. Take command now. Direct your thoughts. Measure your intent. Your first act each day must set the tone for control, precision, and power. Morning predators are everywhere. Distractions lurk in notifications, in the noise of others' agendas, in the pull of fleeting impulses. They circle like wolves, ready to tear apart focus and draw you into battles that are not yours to fight. Detect them early. Neutralize them swiftly. Close the doors that lead to reactive chaos before the world has a chance to dictate your energy, your words, or your actions. This is not merely discipline, it is strategy. Your ability to master the morning ensures that silence remains your ally, that speech remains a weapon, that every interaction is deliberate. Leaders, thinkers, and strategists across history have known this. The first hours of the day are sacred ground. Dominate them, and you carry the battlefield within you into every encounter. Fail, and you enter the world fragmented, your attention scattered, your influence diminished. Stand now as the commander of your dawn. Forge rituals that prepare you, that sharpen your senses, that fortify your mind. Strike first against distraction. Claim the advantage that others surrender unknowingly. Every morning conquered is a day won. Every early victory a momentum that compounds into unassailable power. My morning is my battlefield. I strike first. I control all. Why throne? I rule first within, then without. Men rise to power not by noise, but by the calm that hides the deliberate silence turns anticipation into fear. Speak only when your words will land like arrows in a formation, when every syllable achieves maximum impact. Let others expose themselves while you conserve your strength, striking decisively when the moment is yours. This is the essence of mastery. Moving through life with the predator's patience, the chess master's foresight, the sovereign's restraint. Stillness commands attention, preserves energy, and creates opportunity. Those who rush speak for survival. Those who wield silence speak for conquest. The cost of ignoring this principle is chaos, impulsive error, and unnecessary exposure. The reward is control, authority, and the ability to dictate outcomes without appearing to move. Claim this power. Sit in silence and observe. Let every pause be deliberate, every breath a measure of control. Map your battlefield. Identify the threats. Anticipate the moves before they happen. Speak only when strategy demands it, and let your words strike like lightning from a sky you have already conquered. My silence is my weapon. I strike when it is lethal. It is much safer to be feared than loved because love is preserved by the link of obligation which, owing to the weakness of men, is broken at every opportunity for their advantage. Machiavelli understood that weakness lies not only in action, but in the words we allow to escape. Every sentence you speak carries the potential to wound yourself, to betray your strategy, to empower your enemies. Ruthless elimination is the art of purging what is unnecessary, the idle chatter, the draining relationships, the distractions that chip away at your influence. Precision speech is a weapon. Waste it, and you become vulnerable. Start with the verbal purge. Each time you fill the air with empty phrases, excuses, or reactive responses, you give power to others over your presence. Leader, it is the recognition that your time, your attention, and your presence are finite resources that must be guarded with the same ferocity as a general protects his fortress. Command your environment. Purge the verbal clutter. Remove toxic influences. Let focus sharpen your actions, your speech, and your decisions. Speak only when the moment demands, and let the world marvel at the precision and impact of your words. Every unnecessary utterance discarded, every alliance trimmed, every distraction neutralized strengthens your position. You become unassailable because your communication becomes a weapon, your silence a shield, and your focus a blade that cuts through chaos. My words are weapons. I speak only to strike, never to surrender. Men in power must learn how to appear strong even when they are weak, and wise even when they know nothing. Your face is the first line of defense, the outward signal in a world where every glance, every twitch, every hesitation is scrutinized. The mask of command is not deception for its own sake. It is strategy. It is armor for the mind and a sword for influence. The moment you let your expressions betray doubt, impatience, or desire, you give the battlefield away before a single word is spoken. Every expression is a soldier on the front lines. A frown can provoke confrontation. A smile can invite manipulation. To master your face is to master the war before it begins. Leaders who walk through history unshaken, generals, kings, CEOs, understand that the eyes, the posture, the tone, are as potent as the words they choose. Your command begins with controlled presence. Your calm is your strategy, your neutrality. Your weapon. Controlled disclosure is the next layer of this armor. Reveal only what strengthens your position. Share insights like arrows from a quiver, only when the target is ready to be struck. The world is littered with, "It is better to be impetuous than cautious." Yet the wise man knows when to strike and when to wait. Within you lies an assassin, a silent executioner trained to eliminate impulses before they betray you. Every thought that flares with emotion, every urge to react, every ego-driven impulse is a target. If left unchecked, they become spoken mistakes, weapons your enemies can seize. Your first task is to train this inner assassin, to recognize and terminate these threats before they leave the mind and enter the battlefield of conversation. The preemptive strike is the cornerstone of this discipline. Like a sniper waiting in shadow, you must detect the dangerous impulse the instant it arises. That fleeting thought, a sharp retort, a defensive word, a boast, must be neutralized before it gains momentum. Historically, leaders who allowed rash words to escape found themselves undermined, their authority chipped away by careless speech. Your executioner acts with swiftness and precision, silencing the threat before it can manifest, leaving only calculated, deliberate action behind. Strategic patience is your next weapon. Not every opportunity to speak is the right moment to act. The inner assassin waits, biding time until the strike carries maximum effect. Think of the chess master who leaves a piece unguarded, knowing the timing of the capture is critical. Words released too early are wasted. Words released too late lose their power. You must learn to hold, to measure, and to strike with surgical precision. Timing transforms ordinary speech into lethal influence. Killing the ego is the final, and perhaps hardest, command. Impulses often arise from pride, anger, or the desire to be heard. The inner assassin cannot hesitate. It sacrifices pride to purpose. It understands that the cost of speaking too soon is greater than the satisfaction of immediate validation. Historica. Next, hunt the wolf of opportunity. When others clamor and shout, when they move recklessly, when the battlefield is filled with noise and distraction, that is your moment. The careless reveal their hand, the brash expose their weakness, and you strike with silent efficiency. Think of the predator stalking prey through the night, every step deliberate, every sense heightened. Exploit openings that others cannot see, capitalize on mistakes that others cannot anticipate, and let your actions speak where their words fail. Predatory silence is your final edge. While the world fights over attention, you watch, you calculate, you wait. Let others expose themselves first, exhausting energy on empty gestures, reckless claims, and impulsive actions. You remain still, focused, and deadly in potential. The wolf does not bark before the kill. It moves unseen until the perfect moment. Your silence is magnetic, strategic, and terrifying in its patience. The longer you wait, the greater your advantage becomes. The stakes are immense. Mismanaged instincts can unravel everything. Alliances fractured, opportunities lost, reputations destroyed. But harnessed, your internal predator ensures dominance. Your ambitions become unstoppable, your strategy precise, your influence unquestioned. You transform raw energy into mastery, heat into power, instinct into authority. Feed your wolf wisely. Channel aggression into action. Exploit openings with quiet cunning, and let patience guide your strike. Let the world expand itself in noise while you accumulate power silently, steadily, and lethally. Every thought, every instinct, every surge of energy becomes a weapon honed for victory. My wolf is fed. My instincts are weapons. I strike with silence and precision. It is not titles or armies that make a ruler feared, but the mastery of his own instincts. Within you lies a wolf, a predator born of ambition, cunning, and raw desire. These instincts are not flaws to suppress. They are weapons waiting to be honed. Anger, drive, and the hunger to dominate, if misdirected, will devour you. Feed them with discipline, strategy, and patience, and they will serve as your deadliest ally. Controlled aggression is your first tool. Every flare of fury, every pang of frustration, every surge of desire can either scatter your forces or sharpen them into lethal precision. History is filled with leaders undone by uncontrolled emotion, their power eroded by rash words and impulsive acts. You must transform this energy into calculated action. Let your intensity propel plans, not chaos. Let fury forge results rather than ruin. Hunt the wolf of opportunity. In a battlefield where others clamor, shout, and move recklessly, your moment is born. The careless reveal their hand. The brash expose their weakness. Like a predator moving silently through the night, every step you take must be deliberate, every sense alert. Exploit gaps unseen by others. Capitalize on mistakes unnoticed by the unprepared. And let your actions speak where words fail. Predatory silence is your final edge. While the world battles for attention, you watch and calculate. Let others exhaust themselves on empty gestures and impulsive claims. Remain still, focused, deadly in potential. The wolf, the stakes are immense. Mismanaged instincts can fracture alliances, squander opportunities, and tarnish your reputation. Harnessed correctly, your internal predator guarantees dominance. Ambitions become unstoppable, strategy precise, influence unquestionable. Raw energy transforms into mastery, heat into power, instinct into authority. Feed your wolf wisely. Channel aggression into action, exploit openings with quiet cunning, and let patience guide your strike. Allow the world to expend itself in noise while you accumulate power silently, steadily, and lethally. Every thought, every instinct, every surge of energy becomes a sharpened weapon, prepared for victory. My wolf is fed. My instincts are weapons. I strike with silence and precision. Every man sees what you appear to be. Few feel what you are. Your presence must command, not merely exist. Power is often measured not by what you say, but by what you conceal. To survive the battlefield of influence, you must master the mask, making your intentions unreadable, your strategy invisible until deployed. Your face is the first field of battle. Every expression, every twitch, every glance communicates more than words ever could. A smirk can invite rebellion, a frown can inspire fear, or signal weakness. You must train your features as a general trained troops, deliberate and controlled. Let nothing escape that betrays your inner plan. Mastery over your visage becomes mastery over perception, and perception is the currency of authority. Controlled disclosure is your second weapon. Reveal only what strengthens your position, and never what endangers it. A calculated pause, a carefully chosen phrase, a delayed reaction, each is a tactical strike. History is littered with leaders undone by too much transparency, their fortunes overturned by careless honesty. Today, in boardrooms, social circles, and online arenas, they say, "My mask conceals my plan. My silence commands. I am untouchable." Men in power are feared not for their noise, but for their stillness. To become untouchable, you must wield silence as armor and sword simultaneously. Words, when ill-timed, betray weakness. Words, when measured, command empires. Every pause, every withheld remark, every quiet glance becomes a declaration. You are not to be underestimated. Your silence radiates authority. The room bends to the one who does not rush to speak. People fill the air with chatter, desperate to assert dominance, reveal knowledge, or provoke reactions. You do not. You let the quiet speak for you. Confidence is audible in restraint. Danger is visible in your calm. When others scramble for attention, your composed presence alone signals power, making allies respect you and adversaries hesitate. Timing transforms your words into weapons. Speak only when it serves a decisive purpose, when a single phrase can shift the battlefield, alter perceptions, or break stalemates. History is filled with leaders whose well-placed declarations changed the course of wars, markets, and nations. Napoleon waited for the perfect moment to strike in speech and in strategy, leaving opponents exposed by their own haste. Today, in negotiation rooms, in public arenas, in social currents, the principle remains the same. Restraint amplifies impact. Your voice becomes a scalpel, precise and surgical, rather than a cannon firing blindly. Mastery of the battlefield begins within. Observe the moves, reactions, and weaknesses of everyone around you. Let others expose themselves with impulsive statements, eager gestures, or unguarded truths. Your restraint becomes a trap, your stillness, a net that ensnares the reckless. Like a predator circling unseen, you wait until the moment of absolute advantage. Every action you take is calculated, every word weighed, and sovereignty begins within. Command your inner kingdom and the outer world bends to your will. Chaos in thought invites chaos in action. Clarity of mind breeds invincibility. Every morning ritual, every moment of reflection, every deliberate pause strengthens the fortress of your mind. You are the general of your inner army, the guardian of your impulses, the strategist of your intent. When your mind is unshakable, no external force can breach your resolve. Allies respect your discipline. Adversaries hesitate before challenging it. Your composure becomes a shield, your focus an impenetrable armor. Silence is your blade. While the world reacts impulsively, rushing to fill space with chatter, you observe, calculate, and wait. Every opportunity reveals itself to the patient predator. A careless comment, a brash gesture, a moment of weakness from another. These are the openings that decide battles before they begin. Like a wolf circling its prey, you strike only when conditions guarantee maximum effect. Your words, once released, cut deep, reshaping perception, influence, and outcome. Impulsive speech becomes obsolete. Deliberate action reigns supreme. Life unfolds as a chessboard, and you see moves before they are made. Each interaction is a piece to maneuver, every relationship a tactical engagement. You anticipate the intentions of allies and adversaries alike, positioning yourself to exploit openings unseen by others. The reckless reveal themselves early, the impatient exhaust their advantage, and the undisciplined falter under the weight of their own noise. You move unseen, yet every motion shifts the game irrevocably in your favor. Nothing is left to chance. Every outcome is calculated, every contingency considered. The stakes are absolute. Without mastery of mind, speech, and instinct, you remain vulnerable, subject to the whims of chaos, distraction, and emotional without volume, and your decisions carve paths others only follow. You are not merely participating in life, you are orchestrating it. Every silence, every controlled action, every strategic utterance reinforces your dominance. This is the silent throne, a state where fear, respect, and awe converge. You are untouchable not because others cannot reach you, but because you are always prepared, always calculating, and always patient. The world expends itself in noise and haste, while you accumulate strength in quiet mastery. Your instincts are weapons, your focus is armor, and your strategy is unstoppable. Claim this apex. Command your mind, harness your instincts, and let your words become instruments of decisive action. Strike when the moment favors you, remain silent when it serves your purpose, and anticipate every move in the game of life. Nothing escapes your calculation. Nothing surprises your strategy. Nothing undermines your authority. I am sovereign of self, predator of opportunity, and master of the game. I sit upon the silent throne. Men in power are not defined by what they say, but by what they choose not to say. True mastery lies in disciplined speech. Every word you release must serve a purpose. Every silence must build authority. The world is full of noise, people reacting, echoing, and betraying themselves with careless words. You rise above by restraint, by turning silence into your instrument of influence. Daily practice transforms this discipline into instinct. Treat every conversation as a battlefield, every meeting as a test of control. Observe before you speak. Let your pauses unsettle. Let your calm unsettle impatience. And let your measured words carry weight far beyond their sound. Silence is not deprivation. It is strategy. Use it to sharpen your mind, refine your judgment, and command attention without uttering a single syllable. Silent auth.